So in this video, we're going to talk about how Socket.io works. And if you already know about it, feel free to skip the video. This is just going to be an introduction. So if we go to the homepage of Socket.io, now basically Socket.io is used for real-time data. So real-time analytics, binary streaming, document collaboration, and instant messaging and chat. So Socket.io basically enables us to send data in real time. We do not need to make an API request every time we want to send the data. So back to VS Code. Here we're going to import IO from socket.io client. Make sure to import the client module. And also we're going to need the useref. So here inside the function, I'm going to create a new ref, socket useref. And now inside this use effect, which is on mount. So if you want, you can create a new use effect, but I'm going to work in this one. So here we're going to check if not socket.current. So again, refs have current property. We are going to set its value. Socket.current is equals to IO the module which we imported, and we are going to pass in the base URL inside it. So again, we are connecting with the server by calling this IO and save. So now on the server.js file, we are going to import socket.io for server. So const IO is equals to require socket.io, not the client version. Make sure to double check it. And after this, we are going to pass in the server here. Now here before our next tab.prepare, io.on. So the first argument here is the event. So this basically is the string, and here we're going to have connection. So this event is basically triggered by this one right here. When the socket makes the initial connection, we use this io.on connection. And now inside the second argument, we receive the socket. So this is basically the client who is connected. And this is going to be a function. And inside this function, we are going to have all the events, and we are going to send data inside this function right here and save. So now from a client side, what we are going to do is send data. So if socket.current, so if it is connected, so to send data from the sockets, we use emit socket.current.emit. The first argument again is an event. You can name it anything you want. So here we are going to name it hello world. And the second argument, we are going to send some data. So I'm going to send an object here, name John Doe, and we're going to send it an age that's at 22. So what this line of code will basically do is emit this event with this string right here, hello world, and we'll send an object to the server. So now to receive this data on our server, inside this function where we are receiving the socket, and again this socket is basically the client who is connected. So socket.on hello world. Make sure the spellings are the same what we have used here. I'm just going to copy it from here, otherwise it won't work. The event has to be the same name, and on the second argument receive a function data. So for now what I'm going to do is just log the data inside an object. Name is going to be data.name and age is going to be data.age. So now if I run my server, and now if I go to my messages page, and if I go to my hyperterminal, you can see right here we get the name and the age. We are sending it from a front end. So for now, to make it even more concise, where we are receiving this data, what I'm going to do is destructure out these properties. So we're receiving the name and the age, and I'm going to log this again. And if I refresh, and again you can see we get the name and the age. So throughout the videos where we are using this socket.io, I'm going to use this syntax right here, and we are going to send an object from the front end, and we are going to destructure out the properties in this second parameter right here. So now from this server, I want to send some data to the client. So for that, what we are going to do is inside this function right here, where this event is socket.on hello world, socket.emit. So again, emit and on, these both methods work both on client and also on server side. Emit is used to send data, and on is used to listen to the event and receiving the data. And here I'm going to type data received, and I'm going to send just a string message hello data received. Or let's use the template strings here. We will use the name and hello and name data received. So now we are going to listen for this event. I'm going to just copy this data received and we're going to listen for this on our front end. So here socket dot current dot on and data received. Inside this again the second argument is a function, and I'm going to destructure out the message. So we are sending in this message right here inside an object, and just I'm going to log this. So log message, and I've saved. So if I go to my localhost server, open the console and refresh, and now you can see we get this hello John Doe data received. So again, when you want to send data, you use the emit event, and when you want to listen for the data, listen for any event, we use this on method right here. And if you go to the socket.io homepage, you'll click on this learn documentation and make sure to use the for version 2.x. So we are using 2.6, I think. Use that documentation. And if you want to see all the methods you can use for socket.io, click on this emit cheat sheet. And these are all the methods you can use, connect with the client and sending them data or receiving them. So they have added comments too for what this method does. And also for these events right here, you can see these events are reserved and should not be used as event names. So for the event names which we are typing right here, hello world and data received, these are event names. So you cannot use these events inside your app for any data receiving or listening for event. So now in the next video, what we are going to do is save the users who are connected to a website on a server. So I will see you there.